I am Shaun Carlyon from the Let's Talk Shit Show. Today I've got a special guest, Allan Maltsev from Nexus Plumbing Contracting, who's one of the top plumbing companies in Ontario by far. I'm honored to have him on the show and to talk some shit and get real about this industry that he's in. I'm very excited to hear everything that he's got to share, and Allan, I'm very grateful that you're here, giving your time, because I know you're a very important man and busy, and then time is money, right, my friend? And again, I can't thank you enough for carving some of that out for me today. So
for you, anything, my friend.
I appreciate that. So yeah, I know today, I getting you on the show, I literally just want to kind of get a background on you personally, where you kind of came from, what were you doing before you got into this industry, and where you're at right now. And we're going to touch on a few other points, but I'll let you roll from there.
Yeah. So early days, I had an entertainment agency, very successful. Did a lot of business overseas in Asia. Which you probably didn't know.
No.
But yeah, that was my start. So I represented musicians. Still have that agency. It's not as fruitful as it once was, but exited partially out of that. And from there, got into renovating houses and built a couple houses. But for the most part, I was just accumulating property. Fix, flip, rent, whatever have you. And an opportunity presented itself a number of years back to start working with my brother.
Yep.
And obviously, I was a little bit standoffish at first, naturally, but yeah, I bought into the business, and it's gone gangbusters since. So
yeah, you guys have really blown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
How, like, when you got into that with your brother Daniel, where was he at? And by you guys joining forces, where were you able to kind of take it in such a short period of time?
So we have a third partner in the business as well.
Yep.
James, fantastic guy, love him like a brother. He's also family, and he was family well before we all got into bed together.
Yep.
Right? These are all guys I could shoot the shit with, talk some shit with, whatever have you. And, they were just two guys in a truck. They didn't really, they had a business, they were paying the bills, they did okay for themselves. They woke up one day, there was work, one day there wasn't. But they needed a guy to come in and just systemize the way that they were doing business, but also simultaneous to that, extrapolate whatever business there is on the web, and referral base, create a sales process, but also an internal process, like how do we deal with this client when they do come in through our doors, when they contact us, what's that look like, right? So yeah, I think the better part of 12 to 18 months was really figuring out these kinks, because I have some construction experience, but not to the extent that, I'm not privy to, the technical details of plumbing. And I'm still not.
Yep.
I can schmooze my way through a conversation and MacGyver my way through a conversation, but, as soon as you start talking about this clamp and, that why, and that's not me.
Yep.
Right? But yeah, it's about creating systems, processes, and implementing, executing.
And where did you get that experience to even be able to put that knowledge and strength into the company?
Well, with the entertainment agency I had, a lot of it was marketing based.
Yep.
A lot of it was process based. So a lot of logistical back end. And once you have policy, standardized policy, no one can deviate from what that policy is. Now it's a pro and a con. Pro because now you have something that employees and staff can actually act on. There's procedure in place. Con because now there's there's levels to maybe getting an approval, which takes time, right?
Yep.
Like, we have a process specifically for trucks, vans. From the time a new purchase, a new box truck lands on our driveway at the shop, goes to get a wrap, gets stickered up, we badge it with the fuel technology that has to go in there. We have to outfit it with the GPS, and that could take time, right? If one of those parts goes missing, like, I don't let any of my immediate technicians, or I should say not I, but we collectively don't allow for our technicians to just, drop the truck off to go and get service unless we deem it fit, right? There's an approval process behind everything. So there's pros and there's cons. Yeah.
And I'm sure that by implementing that kind of structuring is what's allows you to get to the level that you're at. Because if you don't have that, it's just you're just in a fucking chaos, and now you kind of got control of the chaos in a sense, right?
Well, it could be uncontrolled too.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, if there is chaos, it's uncontrolled.
Yeah.
It's cowboy. It's completely cowboy.
Well, and that's with these trades, right? Like you get the, your dispatch is probably getting the call from a client that needs whatever service they need, and especially if it's an emergency one, you're trying to kind of troubleshoot over the phone.
Yep.
And then dispatch that accordingly to your technician so that they're best prepared when they show up. But what people are telling you and what's actually there when you arrive could be two completely different things. And like, how do you guys handle those situations when all of a sudden you get all these additional curveballs thrown at you?
Yeah. So, and that happens daily, multiple times a day. We have a standardized price book, right? So, swap out a faucet. It's going to be X amount of money. If there's two faucets, X amount of money. If we're, repiping, it's based on the linear footage of the pipe, whatever have you, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of it's formula based. So like our price book is all, it's a hybrid of a lot of different, ideas from the three of us on how we would have approached this back in the day. Because Daniel and James were both just two guys in a truck, it was actually very advantageous. Like, to the dollar, they're able to suggest, like, this job is going to cost me X amount of money, right? I wasn't going into it blind. So I was really just giving my 2 cents. And we built this price book based on, their collective experience over the last 20 some odd years. And no one tech is going blind into a house without knowing exactly what it costs to do the repair.
Right.
So even if it is different from what was discussed over the phone, like, it won't deviate to the fact that, on the tablet, that's the price.
Yep.
And that's what it is. It's your choice whether or not you want to proceed forward with it.
How do you find... let's see. How many trucks, first of all, do you got on the road?
I think right now we have two sides of the business.
Yep.
So we have project based, and then we have service. Service right now, I think we're at 11.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Big number. Projects. Right now we're in this like weird time where new construction's not really happening.
Yeah.
But I think full-fledged, we would probably have also another, I think assets is another 8 or 9 for projects.
And that takes a lot to manage and to feed those trucks daily, because that's a massive overhead cost of not only the money you invest into the tools, but the payroll.
Yeah.
And everything else that keeps your company afloat, right?
Yeah. So we've touched on this in the past. In our business specifically, you have fixed costs and variable costs. The variable costs are your labor, your fuel, because that goes with how much the truck is being driven, yep. Right? So the fixed cost is really just let's call it the payment for the truck.
Yep.
Can't steer away from that. And then another fixed cost would, let's say, be the insurance. We're paying for, whether the car's idling, sitting on the lot, or whether it's moving, we're still paying for that insurance. So I think at any given time, like we scale up based on the amount of work that comes in. But for the most part, we have our core guys, and we do a really good job at, keeping them busy.
Do you find, because you're service based in the plumbing, do you find, like, where are some of your biggest challenges, say, with just clients in general, that maybe they don't even understand what they're up against, they just know that something's wrong, and they found you and they want you to problem solve that? Like, what are your biggest challenges, again, just trying to, again, getting a clear understanding of what's going on so you guys aren't going in blind, and then, dealing with clients that understand this is what it's going to take, or all of a sudden there's some big debate over how can I do things cheaper, or just put a fucking Band-Aid on it, and fix it. I just want to get back working right away.
So I think the biggest hurdle to overcome when it comes to service isn't necessarily it's a homeowner is often apprehensive about just inviting anyone into their home.
Yep.
That's first and foremost. The second is when they are inviting you into your home and they're, they have, I'm not going to call it sticker shock, because a lot of the time, like, it's open book in terms of what we're charging them. They're never going into it with a blank check.
Yeah.
Right? Unless there's a flood and, like, we really can't, we need to, spend the time to rip apart walls, so on and so forth, right? So we're never really in a situation where there's a blank check. But a lot of time, and we deal, again, with this daily, as early as 15 minutes ago when I walked in through your door, was the office giving me a call saying that, Joe is unhappy because, tech was there for 15 minutes and he can't believe the price that he was paying for, 15 minutes worth of labor. Now, you're in the trade, so you get it. How do you explain to someone that you're paying for expertise and not for time? Right? There's a 22-year-old kid or 18-year-old kid that'll probably put a bandage on it, and maybe it'll work. Maybe in 6 months from now, you might have a hole in your ceiling because the whole place is blowing up due to burst pipe, right? But explaining that to a homeowner, I mean, it's tough. That's a challenge daily.
Well, they don't understand. Daily. They don't really understand, like, the actual cost of what it is, even just to get that guy to your door.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and a professional.
Yeah. So not only do they have to be so touching upon professionals, like, we probably overpay above market. Strategically, like, we like retaining good staff.
Yep. And
when we headhunt for elite staff so that, we don't have to get called back to a house. Now it happens, but that's just policy. We find that, paying a little bit above market is going to create, more adept, employees within our environment. And in doing so, they want to come to work for you. They want to put their best foot forward, and they want to actually, fix and problem solve on the fly. But that being said, again, you have your fixed costs. I'm still paying my plumber his hourly rate, his hour or two in the car to come to your door.
Yep.
There's significant cost associated with that. Now, there could be a guy in a truck that'll do it for a lot less.
And we know they're out there.
Yeah, they're definitely out there. And they're probably great too.
Yep.
But you're not going to find them because their name's not getting just thrown around unless it's a referral from Patty down the street. That's what it is.
What
great espresso, by the way.
Oh,
huh?
Thank you. We got some exotic coffee beans back there.
Mm-hmm.
What are things that you see in the plumbing industry as a whole, like challenges, or where you see that it could use improvements in these certain areas, just to, again, raise the level of standards even higher to what you guys are at? Like, what do you see? I'm sure you see guys that are doing shitty work out there
all the time,
And that's going to be frustrating because those guys potentially are giving the professionals a bad rap as a whole.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's also, like, when we're quoting on, let's say, bigger jobs, these bigger jobs are often being, underpriced significantly. And that's due in part to, one, the construction industry as a whole is a little bit, it's iffy right now. But you're competing against a lot of other vendors out there, right? So, I mean, that's one of the biggest hurdles we're dealing with right now. But yeah, I think, like, our reputation's everything, right? Like, if we botch a job, which very rarely happens, and I'm not just saying that, like,
but shit happens, literally.
You know what? Here, I'll give you an example. Last night, and I didn't know this until I left the office, and I only found out about it this morning. I have a 15-minute call with all our leadership every morning. Daniel, my brother, had told me that once I left the office yesterday, shit just hit the fan. All of a sudden, there's fire. I had no idea, thank God. Like, when I clock out, right? Yeah. I'm with the kids, and that's it. But found out about it this morning, and it turns out that our tech had put in an Amazon faucet into a vanity yesterday. Or sink, I don't know, something like that. And turns out the shitty Amazon faucet started leaking about an hour or two after the install.
Uh-oh.
And the ceiling, unfortunately, had some damage. Yeah. And our tech explicitly put in his notes and tried to convince the homeowner from installing this faucet. Now, we've already paid for our tech to arrive to the house. Like, he's on the clock.
Yep.
He doesn't care whether these people put in the faucet or not. But he still did his due diligence in letting them know, look, this is a piece of crap unit, right? Do not put this in, because it will give you heartache down the road, right? And they chose to put it. They chose to put it in, and inevitably it bugged out, within 2 hours. So
now, are they trying to turn around and blame it back on you?
No, I don't think that was really the case. Not yesterday, at least.
Yeah.
But it's part of the game. Like, again, last week we repiped a whole house. Homeowner was like, you could tell he went on ChatGPT and did his research. Like, he spent probably 3-4 hours chatting with ChatGPT in terms of how he wanted everything piped, and I remember the person who had quoted it, they said, this guy's out to lunch. Like, it's not going to work the way that he wants it done because, it's just not conducive to the environment, yep. Right? He's not going to get the water pressure that he's supposed to get if we pipe it this way. And we said, look, he's paying. Just pipe it in. And it was a decent-sized job. Like, we're talking a whole house and whatever. A couple days elapse, and he's not getting the water pressure he's supposed to get. Well, we told you that this is the case, right? So we actually dispatched again yesterday just to repipe the power pipe, which I don't know if you know, but that's a pretty big job. It's not small. Materials, whatever. And yeah, we got him back up and running. So homeowners also have a skewed, like, sometimes you get the there's Karens out there. I call the guys Gary Get Involved.
Gary Get Involved is amazing.
So the Garys are, like, just as bad as the Karens, because, like, you want to give them what they want, but simultaneous to that, that they're going to be problematic, right? So, I mean, customer service is a huge thing too. Customer
service is huge, and it's and again, just dealing with difficult clients. Like, I come across them all the time, and
yeah, well, you especially, because when you come across them, they're literally eating shit. And then the best thing, like, to your point with ChatGPT or whatever, when someone's trying to explain to me how to do my job or how this actually works, and there's this big debate. Like, I went to
I went to a community campground, and there was 9 guys there, and everybody had an opinion.
Everyone did their research on ChatGPT.
I don't know what they did their research on, but like every comment that came my way, I, respectfully reframed it and re-educated them. But they're like, no, they kept on, they kept on arguing and arguing. And I said, guys, I go, why am I even here then? If you know it better than me, because you're all as a collective. I got 9 against 1. Why were you having this conversation? Why did you even bring me here if you're not even gonna value my insight and my opinion, my professional opinion? And it's just like, I shook all their hands. I thanked them for their time, and I said, guys, call me if you want to work with me.
How salty was that?
It was salty.
It's salty.
It's salty
because they're wasting your time.
They're fucking wasting my time.
Yeah.
Right. And again, it's like, you called me for a reason. You looked at all the people online that you could have picked. You picked me of all of them.
Salty.
And now I'm here, telling you the truth. I'm not trying to bullshit you. I'm not trying to upsell you. And then the other thing was about cutting corners. Can we do this? Can we do that? I said, no, and no. But they just kept on coming back to cutting corners.
You mentioned cutting corners, and it's interesting because, full transparency, Shaun, we reached out to you like maybe a month ago to decommission a septic tank in Markham, remember? And I was looking at the quote. It's like, fuck, this is a lot of money. And Daniel's like, yeah, but look at what he's doing here, and look at what Joe Schmo over here is doing, right? There's the right way to do it, and then there's the shoddy way of doing it, right? When you do shoddy, you don't know how it's going to turn out. If you do it right, and you're spending the money that you're supposed to spend, you're not going to have heartache after the fact. And unfortunately, like, in our line of work, when there's heartache, like, it comes with a very big bill, right? So,
yeah, and there's like, again, like, I don't like doing things twice. You know what I mean? Like, if I fuck shit up, 100%. I've always come good on it. If it's my fault and it was my error and I missed something, I always come good.
Yeah, you come correct.
But, the worst is when I know I've done the job properly, and then it's the client's done something on their side of the fence, and then they either lie to your face that that anything even happened, or everybody keeps on wanting to fire it back into my lane that it's my fault for me to absorb the cost, and it's like, I hate those conversations.
Yeah, they're tough to have, but it's inevitable.
Yeah,
it's like the nature of the beast.
It is the nature of the beast.
You can't get away from it.
And again, I think too, in business and being a professional, is having great communication skills with people. Like my mentor taught me that, he says 80% of the world you can listen and speak mindfully to and get results done. You don't have to agree with each other's opinion, but you can at least listen and speak mindfully with one another. The other 20% are just, they're narcissists, serial killers. Like, you'll never fucking get through these people. But for the most of the time, if people communicate properly, you can usually get to to an outcome where everyone's happy and you're achieving the results that are desired, right? But then you've got, I've seen guys in my industry, like the old school guys, like, they used to get fucking pissed off that someone actually called them to pump their septic tank. They would yell at the guy for even calling them. And I'm like,
yeah, there's still guys like that.
And I'm like, why are you even doing this shit anymore? Like, you're running a service, they've called you for help, and you're yelling at them for calling you. Like, it's fucked up.
So I think the biggest thing is surrounding yourself, whether it's, immediate staff or subs, just like-minded people.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. People who are going to get the job done, and if there's an issue, they're going to discuss it with you. And just be straight up. Be transparent.
That's the biggest
and work
thing.
With integrity. Integrity's a very big, crucial component to all of this.
Yeah, and let's face it, there's not a lot of it out there these days. It's almost, and that's why I love and respect you and you guys, your family so much. You guys have that integrity and the full transparency. We're not We're not trying to pull a fast one on each other, because there's no need for it. First of all, and second
People
of all,
are small-minded, man.
Yeah, and
they're small-minded. They don't see big picture. Like,
no, they don't.
You know, I had a chat with one of our staff the other day. Stellar kid, stellar. Like we've treated him so well from day one. Gave him full autonomy over all his sites. Gave him an apprentice. Give him a truck to bring home, so that he doesn't have to come to the shop, drop it off, to pack up.
Which is huge.
Like, treat him like. Find out last week he left our site early to go do a side job. Left our copper box there, which has, I don't know, $3-4 grand of material in it. And he was stupid enough to actually fess up to it the next day too, which, like, I appreciate, but I almost would have preferred that he would have just said, you know, like, my dog died or something like that, so that I wouldn't have, like, but I had to sit him down. I had to be. I actually got vetoed on that one. As soon as I found out, I said to all our managers, gone. That's it. Now, because I don't have a construction background, I'm just a business guy. Like, I'm you know what I mean? I have a code.
Yep.
Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
Yep.
That's it. Everything else is fair game. I'll treat you with respect and I'll treat you with dignity, but it's got to be reciprocated. That's my code, right? And my brother and Dan and James and there's, you know, our office manager, they all said, if we lose this guy, we are fucked. We're up Schitt's Creek.
Yep.
Why are we up Schitt's Creek? Because he's handling 5-6 sites right now, right? And you can't replace that. I was like, okay, there's a little bit more burden on the other guys for the next couple weeks until we find a replacement, right? But then I also took a step back and I said, you know what? I'm going to let this guy know that I got vetoed by the 2 other guys and now he's on watch. And this is my code. Do not lie for me. Do not cheat for me. Do not steal for me. And if we could get past that conversation with me having a good feeling, because I live by my intuition and my gut. If I could get through that conversation satisfied, then yeah, we'll keep him around. And I had that conversation with him last week, Thursday. I actually invited him into my house to have that conversation. And we sat down and he owned up to it. And he was a man about it. And he's a young kid, so I have to give him brownie points there. But I told him, don't be small-minded. You know, you're using our material, you're using our fuel to go to Timbuktu, wherever, you know, respect me. I'm not saying don't go do side jobs. I get it. You have to make your money, you have to make a living, you know, you're young, you're hungry, ambitious, I get it. But think big picture of where you could be with us, or maybe even elsewhere in 10 years from now if you just put your head down and do the job you're supposed to do. And do it with pride, you know? Don't try to scum people along the way. It's not worth the extra $2,000 you stand to make today, right?
That's one of my biggest heartaches, I would say, that with employees specifically. I've probably employed over like 100 people in the last 20 plus years I've been in business, and if I were to take off my shirt and show you my back, the amount of fucking knives that have been put in me is horrible. Lying, stealing, like just bullshit, doing side jobs. It fucking sucks, man. And you know, we just had a guy recently that we had to let go. We couldn't. I knew he was up to something, and I couldn't physically catch him doing it in the act because he was smart, right? He's not a dumbass, right? So it was this fucking cat and mouse game. But really what it boiled down to was time theft, okay, and then material theft. And I'll give you an example. We were sending him to a job because the pumps failed. At least that's what my guy pumping the tank out said, like the pump's not working. So he'll show up, and the pumps actually failed. But what he's done in his report is he's like, oh, it's just the floater. A couple $100 to fix. And he's making a side deal now with the fucking client. And then he's selling the pump to the client.
Without your knowledge.
Without my knowledge, and he's taking his cut on it.
Piece of crap.
Right? Oh, fuck, it was brutal. And so Man, like I tell you, like in my another just quick story on that. One of my last driver that I had running my truck, we didn't find out till after we parted ways, but he was grabbing all the repair work and going to do it on the fucking weekends for cash, right? So the only way I found out that it happened is because the client called us back because the work he did fucking backed up into his goddamn basement, and now that's representing my company's name. And when my new driver showed up and we found out what had happened, like I was gutted. I was so mad.
Yeah, because you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Brother, I went to this guy's wedding in my home. He's buying gifts for my daughter, saying how family, I love you. Like, if you love me, why are you not doing that? Like, why wouldn't you just come to me and say, hey, Shaun, there's extra jobs. Can we work something out? Like, I'm a businessman. I'm willing to help people get ahead in life, but like, don't go around me. Come through me and be honest. Let's have an honest conversation. Like, I'm not a greedy man, but people that are stealing blatantly and covering up, like, that shit hurts, man. And I'm sure
it stings.
And I'm sure you guys have had it again, like guys doing side jobs or whatever, and it sucks.
Look, it's you can't avoid it. It's unavoidable, but it stings when, early days, the guys weren't just a number when they were working for us. Now it's kind of shifted. Like, we have our core lead techs.
Yeah.
But it was at one point a very family-oriented type of feel when you would walk into the office or when we'd get together, right? Now it's like, because we've grown so much, like, I'm not going to say the guys are just a number, but the interpersonal relationships aren't how they used to be, right? Because it's a little bit more corporate. But you will never be able to avoid someone doing a side job or skimming some material off the top. It's unfortunately, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I got nothing against guys doing side jobs, but go do it on your
with
time.
Have the
tools.
integrity and respect to do it with your tools, your material, your fuel, your time.
And your client, not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah, because when the client,
That's a big one.
when the client's saying, "Well, your guy came and did this," and I'm like, I started. I'm like, the mathing's not mathing here. But you did a fucking side deal with this guy, bud. So you got what you deserve.
But you know what? It's always the younger guys. The older generation, never. I'm almost like, when we hire, I'm after the gentleman that's like, 50 years old, been around the block, just wants to, put in his last 10 years, his last decade, and then retire. Because those are the guys that they've been put through the ringer, they've been disrespected, so when they come to us and we treat them like family, right? We're not up their asses, we're not riding them, like, get the job done so that you can go to the next one. We don't really have a quota. Like, look, in an ideal world, we want to hit, 3 to 4 calls per day per tech.
Yeah.
Because that's where the numbers have to work for the business to make sense. But if they don't, and they only achieve 2 calls, we don't lash out, right? If it happens consistently, then there's just there's an issue with, how quickly they're actually working, and whether they're capable or not. But ultimately, like, we're a very tight knit organization, and as a result, we retain this employee that is going to want to work for us. So I have to say, in the last year, we haven't dealt with this too much. It happens, but I like hiring the older generation. They just think differently. Mindset's different.
They do, and I, again, unfortunately, the one guy I was talking about previous, he was the older generation that he did it. And the thing was, he had his own business, and he
surprising.
Yeah, and it, again,
it's normally the guys that are like worn out that don't want to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you know what sucked, man? Like, I took this guy on, and I should have let him go years ago, because he probably cost me well
More
over
than-
over 200 grand in damages of things that he was just hitting with machines and lying about it. And I had a soft heart because I knew he needed help. Right, I was helping the guy. I gave him opportunity after opportunity, and then the fact that he did this to me, and then we let him go, and now I'm getting fucking sued. Now I'm getting sued by him because I'm supposedly the asshole because we
Yeah, but you're a charity case, right?
That's it. So now it's
That's-
it's funny how this all works as the business owner. People don't understand, and they might look at the business owner that we're fucking made in the shade, and life's great. It's so far from it, man.
Yeah. It's,
What would you say, like, the biggest misunderstanding that you say your employers or clients even think about running a business takes? Like, what do you think they're messed up thinking? To be honest, the truth.
They think we're making all like boatloads of money.
Boatloads, like a fucking tanker just showed up, billions.
They don't get like the sewage ejector fucking costs $600. How am I going to put it in for $600? Right? Like, I'm in the business of making money. The same way if you're a doctor, you're not going to show up to treat your patients if you're not getting paid by the government to do it.
Yep.
It's the exact same thing, exact same concept.
Yeah, and the guys, I know the guys think I'm living the high life, but it's far from it, man. Like,
I think the employees too, though.
Yeah.
The employees probably see like I know our guys, they see these jobs and they're probably thinking like, wow, these guys are, they're making all this money. Look at this place that we're roughing in. Look at this place we're servicing. That's not the case.
No.
Like you have no idea how much I put out on payroll last Tuesday. You have no idea how much it cost me to keep the lights on.
They don't.
Right?
They have no clue. And they again, to your point, like, if you might be structured in a different way, but like sometimes, like, I'm tied to a fixed rate. Like, I cannot
can't
get
break away.
extra money unless it's warranted as an actual change order that's been approved. But like, if I've quoted a job for 5 days and my guys take 6 or 7 to do it,
Yeah, it's money out of your pocket.
it's money in my pocket, and I know how long a job should take. So unless you have an actual legit reason of why it cost me another 24 hours of payroll and expenses, like, what do you guys do? And then I also find guys know if they don't see a job coming up like right away, they'll fucking milk it. They'll milk the job, and then it's like, I'm so busy doing other things that I'm hoping my GMs are catching this and pushing them. But like, when guys are milking the job, it's brutal.
It's the worst.
It's the fucking worst.
Yeah, but so our philosophy is get in, get out. We don't like to live in any given site. So like, service, that's its own animal with its own challenges. But new construction or renovations, for instance, like, we're dialed in, like, really dialed in. And if things come up, so the toughest thing on, let's say, the construction side is, we've completed our scope, we did what we're supposed to do, and now, at finishing stage or, halfway through to finishing, they're putting in a refrigerator, so they need a fridge line over here in a restaurant, and they need this drain over here. Things come up. So when we price our jobs, we actually, especially on the construction side, we take into account that we're probably going to have an extra 8 to 10 visits on top.
Yep.
And so our price looks inflated, but it's not when you take into consideration all the bullshit after the fact that we know we're going to have to deal with.
Yep.
Right? So, I mean, a lot of guys will come, they'll price a job, and they'll say, yeah, I'm here for 2 days roughing in, 2 days finishing, and, 3 days in between. But when you're dealing with a restaurant that's 7,000-8,000 square feet, that's not, you can't do a job like that in 6 trips. It's just not possible.
Especially if you got to work around their schedule.
Yeah, like last week we were breaking finished tile. Just because the contractor fucked up. They had inspections, didn't pass, and so they need a drain here, they need this, they need that. What are you gonna do? Right? So, but we price that in. Those some of it's extras and some of it's you know, like, it's out of the kindness of our hearts, we'll say.
What would you say has been some of your biggest personal wins in your life? Biggest personal wins and biggest wins in business. Give me 3 examples.
Biggest wins. Let's call it. Let's focus on Nexus, because I think, like, I have a lot going on personally, and I've done a lot that I think would be unrelated. Nexus, I think our biggest win was last year, just growing our headcount of employees.
Okay.
More than that, I think. So last year we actually tripled our revenue.
Wow! Congratulations.
So yeah.
That's huge, brother.
Yeah, it was a big growth year last year.
Good for you.
But I mean, look, I'm saying we tripled our revenue. We didn't make crazy boatloads of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact that we were able to process that amount of business and that much more business, and we scaled simultaneous with that, was, I think, a huge win. The head count, the employee count, is another very big win. And I think that last year we had our first seven-figure tender that actually hit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. Congratulations.
So that was a big one too.
Okay. No, that's fuck, dude, that's amazing. I'm proud of you. That's amazing.
Thanks.
And that takes a warrior to do that. It takes a business mindset. It takes discipline to achieve that.
Yeah.
Now, so on the flip side of that, what would you say some of your biggest losses as a business owner would you say that you've ever experienced, or like it fucking hurt? Like, you didn't even know what was going to happen next because you just got sideswiped?
I mean, the biggest one is maybe more personal. Like, work takes away from my personal life quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm better at it now, but I have 2 young kids, so I'm like right in the thick of it.
It's tough, man.
Oh, buddy.
It's tough raising a family.
Plus my wife, up my ass.
Yeah.
She's awesome, and I love her. She might watch this one day, so I don't want to be on CP24 tomorrow. But yeah, that's tough. Like doing the 4 p.m. pickup from daycare, dropping off sometimes, and being present in the moment when my phone is on fire.
Yeah.
You know, that is very difficult. And I think that, like, as an employee, you don't have that.
No. Right?
Because, quite frankly, I'm responsible for multiple mouths before I feed my own.
Yeah.
And I'm inherently responsible for multiple families as a result too, right? So that's the biggest downside.
And that's a lot of pressure. I don't think people appreciate or respect or even are aware of. Like, to your point, like when I had 45 guys, like that's 45 families that I'm responsible to get up and find work and make sure that they have somewhere to go the next day, and then manage that work, get it done properly, and then, okay, that's all great. Now go get fucking paid. Now you got somebody
you got to collect.
Yeah, and then that's a whole fucking racket on itself. And then when shit isn't getting collected, the bills don't fucking stop. The payroll doesn't stop.
Yeah, your cash flow just gets fucked up.
But I still got to pay you.
Yep.
So I'm taking my shirt off my back. They don't care. Where's my paycheck?
People don't care.
And that's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure on a business owner that people, I don't think, appreciate.
So on the topic of pressure, I think that, one, it takes a certain type of person to be able to deal with pressure. Not everyone, is capable, and so that's why they become employees, right? The guys who can, tough it out, those are the ones that have true grit. And, whether they're successful or not, they've put themselves in the position to even have that type of pressure bestowed upon them, right? So I think that if you have any type of pressure on you, you're already, you're doing something right in a business sense. Because in business, there's always, the more pressure mounted on you, you just got to figure out solutions. That's it. That's all. It's a game of chess.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you do what do you do to prepare yourself every day so that when you enter the world, when you're alive, you're out there now, what do you do to prepare yourself? What are kind of like 3 non-negotiables that like I have to do this before I even start my fucking
Sit on
day?
the toilet
Yeah.
for 45 minutes before I start my day.
No, and that's it. And that's
It's
the only
that's
quiet place in the
routine.
house, right?
Yeah. Yeah, talk some shit to the toilet bowl.
You work out? Do you do any? Is there like are there
So I
groups you're with?
box. I do Muay Thai.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
good for you.
Pretty well. I haven't like for the last couple months, but I'll get back into it. I've been training since I'm 15.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a big part of my life. Yeah, no, I wake up at like 5:30 every day.
Yep.
Go downstairs, whip out the laptop, watch the sports highlights from the night before. I only really sleep, I'll say, like 6 hours a night,
Yeah, that's good.
give or
average.
take.
That's good.
But that's how I start my day, and I've heard and seen these guys like manifesting. I take a different approach. I'm thankful. I thank God
Yeah.
before I go to bed
Yep.
and when I wake up every day, and I do that in my own way.
Yep.
Right. But yeah, that's like that gives me solace throughout the day.
No, that's amazing. You touch on so many things. Even participating in a form of a sport, but specifically a martial art. Because I do jiu-jitsu, right? I've been doing it for about 14 years now. That's changed my life. The community are some of the most upstanding people I've ever met in my life. That are just the such a high level of respect and honor and appreciation.
Yeah.
It's gold.
There's
And
discipline associated
there's
with
discipline
it.
and just
There's clarity.
yeah, but and then you like when I'm done like trying to kill all my friends for an hour and we all shake hands after, give each other big hugs. And
Yeah, there's camaraderie around
there's
that.
camaraderie. My mental health's so good. Like I feel so good from
Leaving
doing
the
that.
mats, yeah.
And then it also actually helps me prepare when I'm out in the world, because the old me didn't know how to handle myself when I would have these situations, and the first thought was I want to fucking strangle this guy, right? But having the discipline now that I don't even think
step
that way,
back.
just to
Yeah.
step back
Yeah.
And approach it differently, it's huge.
Yeah, so I think in the real world, like it's funny you say that, because in the real world, what martial arts teaches you is to de-escalate.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that they don't say it outright, but it's all about de-escalation.
Yep.
De-escalation first. So, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of maybe putting my kid into judo.
So some of my good friends in jiu-jitsu are also black belts in judo, and my God,
It's a
when this
good-
one guy gets
great
a hold
sport.
of you,
Yeah.
he's gentle, but when he's got you on his hip and he's gonna fucking rocket launch you across the room, but he gently puts you on the ground, you're very grateful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
understand
You
the
know,
power.
you feel the grip right away, and you know.
It's undeniable, and again, to me, those sports too humble you very quickly as well, because when a 15-year-old kid's got you in a fucking armbar and he owns that arm, and you got a decision to make very quickly. Your ego's either gonna get in the fucking way and be like, well, he's 15 years old, I'm not gonna let him tap me. He breaks your fucking arm.
Yep.
Or you're like, you know what? Good for him. He caught me. He played the game of chess better than me. Tap. So it's a very humbling thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It makes a real man out of you.
It does, and it's just like, again, I attribute my success as being in the martial arts has really helped me get ahead in life.
Yeah. I think like with my 4-year-old, I feel like it would help his confidence
Absolutely.
a ton.
Yep.
And you could just touch him and he'll start fucking crying like big wuss.
Yeah.
And I want to rectify that like immediately.
Yep.
You know, immediately, because I'm trying to raise a real true man.
Yep. Good for you.
You know, none of this.
No.
Are we trying to be politically
No, you go say what
correct
you want,
here?
brother.
There's men and there's women.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a man.
Yeah.
And there's no, where my family's from. The way I was raised is the same way that he's gonna be raised.
Yep.
And he's gonna be tough. He's gonna be able to stand on his own 2 feet. And if he has to tell someone to fuck off, he's going to be able to do that.
Yep.
So, yeah, martial arts is really the only thing I think that, like, I can only give him so much, right?
Yep.
But it's my job as a parent to put him in the position where, you know, he understands that the community around him, they say it takes a village to raise a kid, right? His village is going to be comprised of all these different things that I'm able to give to him, and his environment, his surrounding, which, you know, creates the supernatural human being. Hopefully you'll be one.
Yeah, you want to, like, and I'm sure you're going to agree with you, I want to raise extraordinary kids. I don't want them to be fucking soft flakes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's too many people, you said, you just flick them and they fucking buckle, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I mean, pressure is something that's always going to exist.
Yep.
It's whether or not you buckle under pressure, right? Like, I take an approach with business, personal, doesn't matter. Whatever you could figure out today, you figure out. Whatever you need to see how things unfold, you let those things unfold. And, you know, it's antsy, and maybe, like, it'll give you a little bit of anxiety, but whether a day of graciousness or reckoning is going to come, it doesn't alleviate anything, right? You have to just see how things unfold.
Yeah, and to that point, like, the last 16 months of being clean and sober, and some of the programs that I was in.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very proud of that. It's believing in a power greater than myself, right? Thanking that upper power, and knowing that I'm just the actor. I'm not the director. And the more I try to be the director, the more it shit gets fucked up. And just kind of just start going with the flow and feeling that, and just know things are going to unfold the way they're supposed to. You can try your best to mitigate losses and damage and foresee things, but, like, so many people are either living in the future and trying to control it, or they're living in the past, but they're not in the fucking present moment.
Yes.
The only time we got is now.
Yeah.
Like, live now.
I'm big on that. I'm definitely.
And to what you were, just to kind of loop back to what you were saying before about manifestation and gratitude and things like that, like, the last year since I've been praying, since I've been believing in something greater than myself, since I've been manifesting and putting it out into the universe, these wonderful things are coming back to me. Like, it's like tsunamis of it, where I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I can't even make up the shit that's happened to me in the last 16 months. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, because when you come with optimistic, good energy, it attracts the same.
And it's the energy.
Yeah.
The energy. And when you're filled with bullshit, and, like, you get, I always say, when you got dog shit in your pockets, people are gonna smell it.
Down. Yeah,
people are gonna
it's gonna
fucking
weigh you
smell
down.
it. And when you don't, and you have that good energy, you're attracting a lot more of that towards yourself.
So we, like, looping back to Nexus, we had a couple months last year where we lost money.
Yep.
Right? We're going month by month. And when we started, we had a team meet, I think it was January 2nd of this year. We all said around the table, no loss months. We're not losing money on any given month this year.
Yep.
And I'm not talking, like, $1,500, $2,000. Like, that's, I'm talking no months where we lose money. So I'm just like, I'm putting that energy out there, and I'm hoping that my whole team, extrapolates that and just feeds off of it. Right?
And they will.
Yeah.
And that comes from leadership too, right? And that's another big challenge as a entrepreneur is, again, unless someone's mentored you, how do you learn leadership? How do you learn to drive the troops as the general in the right direction on the battlefield? And that's a tough
challenging
thing.
It's very challenging.
When I used my firefighter experience of over 20 years firefighting, and getting on as a rookie, and it was fucking scary, dude. Some of the shit I had to come up against that I had never been exposed to, and I'm like, what the fuck is this about? Like, am I gonna die here? But, like, there's no one else coming behind me. It's us. Like, we got to solve this problem and figure it out. And and having guys with more experience and that leadership to direct us into the fire, so to speak, and come out with the ultimate optimum results was huge. And building confidence, my confidence got really good in the fire department because I was forced to be in very
uncomfortable situations.
Very uncomfortable within minutes, and I had no idea what I was.
And you don't have time to think. In that world, you have no time to think.
Yeah, like you'd literally get a call.
Yeah.
Tones would go off. You pull the printout off the thing. You read the report. You're in the truck. You get an update by dispatch. So your ancestral mind starting to already paint a picture of what you're up against, and you show up and it's completely different.
And your nervous system, your adrenaline, everything's
fucking
already
shot, man,
through the roof.
And then the worst thing is if when they used to say hurry up and wait. So one of our calls was hurry up, get there, and it's nothing and wait. But then when the real deal would come in, and you could tell it was
when
something real when there's multiple calls coming into dispatch. You could even tell the tone and the voice of the dispatcher, he's fucking losing his shit, right?
Yeah.
And that already puts something out into the air. And now you show up as the people to solve that problem, and now you're in the community. Everybody's staring at you, and you're like, okay, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
But it was, standard operating guidelines and standard operating procedures that we were trained thoroughly on, and trying to do the best that we could with the cars we were getting dealt with, and being able to pivot at any point in given time when shit goes sideways. And that's, I show so much gratitude towards the fire department, because when shit is burning down on a job site and shit's going sideways,
they're running in there, not out.
Right, but in business though, now when I show up to a job site, my guys, like I use this example. I got a call the other day from my driver and one of my GMs. It said 911. It said 911. You got to call right away. I'm thinking, fuck. Oh my God, someone's died. The truck's flipped. We're in a catastrophic accident. What the fuck?
Yeah.
911. What's up? What's going on? Yeah, so the electrical panel fell off the side of the truck.
Okay.
I'm like,
is everyone safe?
I'm like, yeah. Did anybody there's like danger to life here? No. And it's like, I said, guys, you got to realize something. 911 in my world is like life and death shit. So 911, the electrical panel fell off the fucking truck and might be in service for a couple hours, does not warrant that type of stuff. So I said to them, please don't ever
do that
come
again
to me with a 911 unless it's a fucking 911.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then it's perception, right? Like, my perception of what 911 is to theirs, like that might be catastrophic. They're like, oh my God, we're not getting to the clients. There's a sewage backup. Yeah, okay, there's still a little bit of an emergency going, but again, it's not. There's different stages of 911.
The world's not on fire.
This world's not on fire.
Yeah.
And again, having a positive mindset, being able to pivot on the move, being able to deal with real life situations and get the optimum results. It takes experience that you're only going to get being put in the hot seat, right? Like when I got made up as a captain, that's a completely different fucking role now.
Yeah,
it's a completely different role.
It's a leadership role.
It's a leadership role, and I'm not sitting on the back of the truck taking orders. I'm the one giving the orders.
Yeah, people are looking up to you for direction.
The whole incident command system, which is a huge thing to understand how that even works, so things run smoothly. But again, I just say, people in business, unless they've been mentored by somebody that actually knows what they're doing, they're going in almost blind and trying to figure it out on their own. And that's where guys make mistakes. They go into business, they piss customers off, they get a bad rap. And if there's any kind of advice that you would give to a future plumber or somebody that's trying to get in the industry, what would you give? 3 pieces of advice to protect themselves so they don't
I've got one that comes to mind right away.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I had a hire in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Which as of yesterday didn't work out for other reasons, but he told me he paid $15,000 to skilled trades for a pre-plumbing apprentice program.
Okay.
If you want to be a plumber or any trade, go down the Google rabbit hole, call every fucking company there, and ask them if they're hiring. And if you really want to be an asset, go and fucking do an internship. Just go and work. Go and work. show someone that you could provide value. And if you could provide value, I guarantee you after day one, the business owner will hire you. Guarantee it. Because if you show any type of just responsibility and capability, we're not looking like we don't expect you to, to know everything on day one. Probably in plumbing, not even after a year, really. Like, we're paying you to learn.
Yeah.
So it's just your inept ability to just move and shake on the job site. So if you could take direction, that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you want to pay $15,000, come pay me $15,000, and I'll teach you what plumbing's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not me personally, but
you'll put them in the right direction.
I'll put them in the right direction. That's number one. What was the original question again?
The original question is like, what would you share to people that are trying to get into the plumbing industry, so they don't have catastrophic mistakes that put them out of business, give them a bad rap, or fuck-ups?
So there was that. Number two is, I think that, like, I have my own mentors. Like, I have a few that I go to for certain, advice. So whether it's legal, accounting, whatever have you, right? I have people around me that could give me what I need when I'm looking for it, at any stage too, right? And I think that that's very important, is having the network behind you that you could just bounce ideas off of. So in regards to plumbing, I mean, my brother still calls his teacher from George Brown.
Oh, wow.
From 25 years ago.
It's amazing.
Isn't it? It's amazing. So he still speaks to, I think the professor's name's Blundell, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to him, because he helps us out all the time. And he probably doesn't even know who I am, But I hear his name all the time in the office. All the time. Call Blundell.
And it's good to know, again, that your brother can even pick the phone up and have that conversation.
Yeah.
There's obviously such a high respect level for one another.
This guy wrote the book on plumbing code, apparently.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
So he's like, I guess in the plumbing world, he's big shit, right? He's top shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Even to touch on that, if people are trying to get into business in general, is just structuring yourself properly.
Yeah.
Hire people that are smarter than you, like bookkeepers, accountants, get that structuring, and a really good lawyer for contractual things that you need to sign to your client, or things that you're receiving from a client that you're bidding on. Really make sure you understand what you're fucking signing before you put your name on it, because once that
that's it.
Once it's there,
especially once you take the deposit, you could still walk away until that deposit hits. You're locked in. That's it.
And like, what would you say? There's things that you didn't even understand that took you off guard, like even on the commercial side of things in business, where you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize how to do this. Like a 10% holdback, for example.
Yeah, holdbacks suck, but for commercial properties and commercial clients, like, what really stings is how long the payouts are. I mean, like, we have some clients, it's like 120. Like, I've already front loaded the cost for material, labor. Like, that sucks.
120 sucks so bad, because what's lien rights? 60 days now, I think, in Ontario. And now you're trusting that relationship.
But even 60 days turns into 90 really quick.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if you don't put a lien on a property, perfect the lien and all that other garbage that has to be done to protect yourself, once you pass that 60-day mark point, you're done.
That's it.
And now
but you could take it to small claims. Like, there's a lot to it.
There's a lot to it.
Like, we've only run into that situation. We have done it. It's a huge pain in the ass. But it depends on the client, like what the situation is with the client, right? I'm a big advocate for having a meeting of the minds. So I don't like to just, flail around and say, I'm going to legal.
Yeah, for sure.
I try to amicably figure it out.
Absolutely.
Right? But there are, unfortunately, situations where, they just result in lawyers' correspondence, and that's it.
Yeah, like I'd say I've got over $800,000 in liens, which is fucking brutal. Like, the average person cannot handle that. And I just got paid out from a lien. I think it's 4 years now. It was like 150 grand. I got half plus a $35,000 lawyer bill, plus having to go pay off the trades that I still owed out of that, because I called them yesterday and said, hey guys, I actually got money to pay because I want to come good on my debts. And like,
honorable guy. See that?
Buddy,
most people are like that.
I have to be like that because I want to be able to, when I call somebody, I want them to pick the phone up first and foremost. And if I'm in a jam, I want to know that they're going to support me and not
dick me around,
fuck me around, say fuck you, I'm not working for you, right?
Yeah.
And again, relationship building and being a man and honoring your word. Exactly. And I'm a handshake kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is key to the survival of being a good entrepreneur. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
So, Allan, I appreciate you being on the show, brother. You did an amazing. And if anybody needs any kind of plumbing service, please call Nexus Plumbing right away. These guys answer the phone around the clock, 24/7. They're all across Ontario. I guarantee you, from my own experience, anything that you need done, these guys will take care of it, and they will go above and beyond anybody else that's out there.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, take care.